The latest Genshin update has quite a few surprising reveals, and these are the top 5 new features coming with the 5.6 version. So I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't expecting much from this update until they revealed a freaking Archon quest that had some massive name drops. Okay, so basically this upcoming Archon quest will be centered around Mondstadt region, and in this storyline, Albedo gets accused of murder. To help solve this mystery, we will interact with a bunch of Mondstadt cast members. But get this, when Venti uses the Dodo communication device, he accidentally calls Varka, yeah, the Grand Master of Knights of Favonius. But then on second call, he then gets in touch with Alice, who will be, I guess, the main antagonist of this quest? I have no idea, it's always complicated with Alice. But there's another character that gets revealed, Dahlia, who's the head of Church of Favonius and a personal buddy of Venti. In fact, during the livestream, Hoyo posted promotional material of Dahlia on Twitter, which usually means this is a confirmed playable unit. Also, when looking at the remaining mystery units, it seems like he is the final piece of the puzzle, while escoffier is on the other side. So that leaves us with the final mystery figure, which many suspect is going to be Skirk. But yeah, this Archon quest seems super interesting, and I cannot wait to check it out. But aside from this, another story quest will be available from Escoffier, where the traveler will need to participate in some kind of a cook-off. I don't know, but for completing this quest, you'll be rewarded with Escoffier essential materials, which is always nice. You already know the drill by now. New update, new events. And starting with the major one, Traveler will end up in some kind of a Fontaine convention, where they will need to become a tycoon of amusement parks. What's interesting about this event though is the cast. We can see Kinich, Risley, Navia, and even Nui all interacting together, so that's pretty cool. Now as for the event activities, one of them involves flying around this minigame and collecting coins, another one demands you to complete some kind of an obstacle course, and then this last one, I think you need to match blocks of similar colors to achieve best results? Yeah, I'm not sure about this, but this is one of those type of events where you also get to collect revenue and do a bunch of very light tycoon activities, kinda similar to the one we had with potion making in the past. But after putting in all this effort, the reward is going to be this event-exclusive 4-star bow, so hopefully it's not too shabby. Now as for minor events, Operation Downpour Simulation looks like a mixture of Clash Royale and Clash of Clans, which might sound a bit weird, but the end result looks pretty interesting, at least as someone who likes these types of games when I'm being a couch potato. Moving over, there's Legends Ablaze, which honestly looks almost exactly as the same type of event that's going on right now. You go up against other 3 players and try to collect as many coins, but now the twist is that not only can you use Natlan units, but also indwell some of the Saurians. Anyway, this next one looks right up my alley. It's called Chronicle of Shifting Stratagems, and in it, there will be a bunch of team comp challenges with friends leaderboards. So it seems like Hoyo is getting more and more comfortable with introducing leaderboards now, which is fine. Some of these whales drop 2 or 3 mortgages by now. Gotta show off those units at some point. And speaking of showing off, Genius Invocation TCG will add a new card skin and new characters and actions. Plus, the automatic artistry game mode will have updated reactions and new refresh changes. I really need to try out this TCG mode at some point. But I know what I will do. Utilize the Leyline Overflow rewards, which are coming back, baby. But yeah, these are the events. Hoyo even shared the schedule, so check it out here. And now, let's move over to the new units. Some would say this update is Kirk's waiting room, but hey, there will be 2 new units in 5.6. And the first one is Escoffier. I have no idea how to pronounce her name, but anyway, she's a 5-star cryo polearm user from Fontaine, and I've been hearing this rumored that she's supposedly the savior of freeze teams. Why is that? Well, apparently she will reduce enemies' cryo and hydro resistance depending on how many cryo and hydro units are in the team, which is already pretty crazy, but then she also has this coordinated attack from her skill, which seems to be attacking pretty regularly, but on top of that, her burst restores the entire party's HP. So pretty obvious she's gonna be great with Farina. And then get this, when holding down her skill, her summon plate can absorb elemental attacks and then produce a free dish item, one of which shown in the stream is a 5-star dish. So talk about cooking power creep. Now the other new unit is Ifa, a 4-star Animo Catalyst. I know, that's like what, a 4th Animo Catalyst 4-star? Anyway, this guy is actually pretty hilarious. Similar to the other Natlan units, he has a unique exploration ability where he will grapple onto his Saurian friend Kakuku, and then he can fly around, or I guess float around, judging from the struggle of even lifting him up. But yeah, aside from that, his skill is kinda similar to Mizuki's, where he will keep shooting enemies and restore HP at the same time, while the burst, when unleashed, will gather up the enemies and even deal extra damage based on the element it was infused with. Probably Probably the most interesting part about him is that he will boost swirl and electro charge damage based on the amount of Night Soul points in the party. So this means he most likely will be great in taser comps. But yeah, moving over to Banner's schedule, in Phase 1, Escoffier and Navia will be the featured 5 stars along with Aoife, while in Phase 2, Kinich and Raiden will be available to pull for. Interestingly enough, Chronicle Wish banner is also making a comeback, and this time around, it seems to be for Inazuma units and weapons. I believe these are all the 5-star Inazuma units in the game, aside from Raiden, who is on her own featured banner in Phase 2, which is quite unique. But still, this is a great opportunity to snag Kazuha, since that guy's banner rarely shows up. The time has finally come to face off against Alice, or at least fight against one of her contraptions. So in this, what I assume to be the weekly boss fight, the arena is made up of a chessboard, and there will be 2 phases. In Phase 1, you will need to manipulate the attacking chess piece to cause a collision, and then in Phase 2, you will need to fight this cool duo of a knight and a queen. This fight looks pretty dope, but as with all weekly fights, I just hope it's not too scripted, and leaves some room for good old mindless fighting. But wait, there's one more boss on the menu, Secret Source Automaton, Overseer Device, which looks quite like the one that got introduced a few updates ago. Anyway, Hoyo confirmed during the livestream, Escoffier will need this boss ascension mats, so those who are pulling for her, keep this in mind. New update, new quality of life changes, and this time around, there's quite a few surprising ones coming with the 5.6 version. Okay, so first of all, Treasure Compass yet again is getting upgraded. Now it will display Natlan Tribe's challenges and their treasures for the obsidian fragments to unlock, and on top of that, when enough exploration progress is made, it will also display Mora chests. So hopefully this might help some of you out with 100% progress. Another big change is coming to map pins. It will now be possible to batch delete them instead of the old batch deletion, where you still had to click one by one, but as you can see, now it's gonna be easy to just delete all the markers of one kind in one region. Now, this next one is, well-deserved, I'd say, because Hoyo is finally realizing it's time to simplify those character skill descriptions, and supposedly, there will be less walls of text to read, and instead you can click on highlighted words to read further explanation of them. But moving over, the handbook is also getting a small tweak. Now it will display domains by their types, so artifacts, weapons, and character ascension materials, as well as weekly bosses will have their own tabs. Plus, the domains will be sorted by their region's opening time. Next on the agenda, there will be trackers set in place for both at the crafting bench and during exploration, so we can finally track how many materials the unit needs to ascend or level up their talents, which is something that's been long overdue, to be honest. But anyway, let's actually talk about the craziest change to the endgame. You know those useless stars you can get from clearing Imaginarium Theater? Yeah, they're no longer just for bragging rights. At 3 stars, you can get some artifact XP, at 6 stars, 1 transient resin, but at 9 stars, you'll be able to obtain a sanctifying elixir, which is pretty huge in my opinion. Not only that, they're also fixing that annoying thing where after completing the final act boss, you can now restart the stage, since, you know, you might have lost the chance to obtain the star, so that's great. Oh, and those brilliant blessings will have a better overview, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to 5.6 update. I am quite excited about the Imaginarium Theater changes, and it's always nice to see Mondstadt characters back in the story. Let me know in the comments what you think of this update, and I'll be posting a follow-up video about 5.6 characters very soon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.